Plot armor is a concept that has plagued fans of fiction since the dawn of storytelling. Characters being deemed too important to the plot to die, and as such getting a ridiculous amount of invisible armor from the author, is a major criticism that fans of media have in general. But this hatred for plot armor and assholes truly runs deep within the anime and manga community. Series like Black Clover and Fairy Tail have people dedicated to hating those manga solely because they are deemed to be chock full of plot armor. Whether or not Black Clover and Fairy Tail actually fit into this category is irrelevant to the video itself. If a series is deemed to have characters that survive in the face of danger over and over and over again without facing consequences solely due to them being important to the plot, this lowers the audience sense of tension and generally lowers the enjoyability of said series. Now, Jujutsu Kaisen is typically exempt from talks like this, talks of plot armor or asspulls, due to Akutami's skillfully woven power system and story. However, one of the most recent battles in the Culling games have pointed out that one character may have a lot of plot armor on their side. Kinji Hakari. The gambling third year who faced down Kashimo and won, and the very topic of today's video, in which I will explain why Hakari and all of his incredible luck is merely an example of plot armor done right. Directly after the defeat of Kashimo at the hands of Hakari, I noticed many fans of the series both on Twitter and YouTube voicing their complaints with the chapter and the fight overall. The general consensus seemed to be that Hakari is simply a character that's power is plot armor, and his victory came strictly as a result of that. The panel they would use to back up said argument is this panel, in which the narrator states that Hakari has incredible luck. Pretty damning if used without surrounding context, and even with the context of the entire fight and Hakari's character, I can understand why he isn't the most appealing type of fighter in the series. While I can understand not appreciating Hakari's abilities and technique, I also understand that within the narrative there are several ways to explain his victory without simply defaulting to pure dumb luck like some say. Now, the explanation that I subscribe to, and the one that I think is most supported by the narrative, comes from the mouth of Kinji Hakari himself. I use skill to grab a hold of luck. This statement is cool and all, but I've seen many people not quite understand what this means from someone like Hakari. Simply put, I think that luck exists everywhere for everybody, both in the real world and in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. Luck, or more appropriately put, chance, is something that everyone has access to varying degrees. Mekamaru was born unlucky because of the binding vow placed on him at birth that disfigured him. Yuji was born unlucky in the sense that all of his life up to now had been charted out and planned by Kenjaku. And Maki and Mai were both unlucky in the sense that they were kind of destined to be failures so long as both of them were alive. On the flip side, characters like Satoru and Megumi are lucky to be born from the clans that they are. Without that, they'd inevitably be much weaker characters with much lower ceilings. This luck, this chance, is this invisible and usually intangible substance within the verse that most are just subjected to. However, for a seasoned gambler like Hakari, for someone who understands and loves the fever, this chance is like the ocean. At times, the tides of luck are low and he has nothing but his own strength and wits to use. But other times, the tides of luck are high, and he's able to grab hold of them and manipulate those tides better than anyone's seen in Jujutsu Kaisen thus far. If you don't believe me on the whole luck thing, let's reference a few chapters of Jujutsu Kaisen that predate Hakari's domain debut and see if luck and making use of it is a consistent theme within the series. Chapters 9, 12, 58, 61, 73, 126, and 181 all detail blessings, luck, or innate talent as being integral parts of the Jujutsu Kaisen power system. All of these things predate Hakari's real showings in the manga and show a very high quality level of consistency within Gege's writing. Gojo states in chapter 12 that 80% of a sorcerer's abilities will come from innate talent. Outside of lower level techniques like barrier techniques and random shikigami, as well as outlier situations like Yuji, what you are born with is typically what you have to work with in your sorcerer life. The cap of your strength is basically set from birth due to this. You can work hard to make full use of your current situation, however, a member from the Gojo clan with both the Six Eyes and Limitless will always have a higher potential ceiling than someone with a technique like Boogie Woogie. Their potential standing in life was already predetermined simply based on how lucky they were when they were born, which is corroborated by several of their examples in the manga. Like say in chapter 9, where Sukuna remarks that Megumi not taking on the special grade finger bearer even with his technique is a waste. This moment correlates to the expanding of Megumi's domain in chapter 58, where we learn that what is holding Megumi back is not potential or talent, it's mindset. His mindset literally holds him back from making full use of the talent, of the luck that he was blessed with at birth. It is only after the mindset change that Megumi is able to grab a hold of his own lucky birth and ascend beyond the tier that he was once at. Yuta also remarks in chapter 181 that unlike Uro, he is blessed. He's blessed with an immense amount of cursed energy, and he's blessed with amazing and competent friends, both of which only became fully realized once Yuta decided to grab a hold of his own fate and take charge. Toji even remarks that Geto and Gojo were both born with all of their blessings, yet at the time neither of them could use those blessings well enough to beat a monkey who couldn't even use sorcery. Once again, it is only after Gojo is able to harness his own blessings that he surpasses Toji and defeats him then and there. If for some reason all of these examples weren't enough, just look at Black Flash, a universal ability that all those who can manipulate cursed energy have access to. The very nature of this power is considered a blessing by the narrator that cannot be used at will. However, you know who has the most on-screen Black Flashes in the series? Yuji Itadori, the one given the power of curses, the one whose sincerity is their greatest weapon, the one with physical prowess and fighting sense that surpasses even Maki, and the one so skilled that he makes you think he can use Black Flash at will. In every single one of these examples, characters either fail or succeed based on their ability to harness luck, to harness chance, to harness their blessings, and make use of it during the fight by their own skill. So why is it so hard to understand that Hakari is simply doing the same thing? Sure, Hakari has incredible luck, but luck alone doesn't allow you to win against a beast like Kashimo. Luck alone doesn't get you put in the same conversations as Yuta Okkotsu. Luck alone doesn't mean that you are one of the students set to eventually surpass Gojo Satoru himself. We've seen what luck looks like when it's mishandled or misused. It's Geto versus Toji. It's Megumi versus Sukuna. It's Mahito versus Yuji and Todo. It's so many fights and conflicts in Jujutsu Kaisen that are won and lost based on the person's own luckiness and their ability to use it properly in combat. Hakari being a very crafty fighter, especially later in his fight with Kashimo, isn't no coincidence. His victory was no mistake. It was a careful and delicate harmonization of skill and luck that Hakari used to net him the physical victory and a powerful ally. Rather than trivializing the consistent writing within Jujutsu Kaisen and merely reducing it to Hakari has plot armor though, I think it would do fans well to really consider how clearly intelligent and skilled of a character Hakari is. In the face of imminent danger, he was able to think on his feet clearly and use the chance advantages that he was granted. He is the one who constructed his domain and the intricate rules that everyone in it must abide by. He is the one who is powerful enough to not immediately be killed by Kashimo and base when they're both in his domain. And when it was very clear that his infinite cursed energy and immortality wouldn't get the job done, it was his own quick thinking and skill that allowed him to throw Kashimo into the water, putting him in a very advantageous position. Even when Kashimo used his last-ditch effort and resorted to self-detonation, Hakari reacted accordingly by creating a binding vow to save his life. Time and time again, Hakari showed himself to not only be a lucky person, but one who was skilled enough to chain down luck and use it for his own needs. I know it's inevitable that some may listen to all of what I'm saying, all of the information, and all of the evidence that I'm using to back up my arguments, and still say that it's an ass pull, still say that it is just plot armor. But if Akari's domain expansion abilities are just the result of plot armor, well then it is most certainly plot armor done right.